some teams call your agent and stuff like that. So when did it really set in? Like, San Antonio's really,
No, I had.
It's your boy Crispy, the Keep It Crispy podcast. We got another wonderful episode on the way here. And today we got a real special guest, man. If you guys are in the hoop scene, y'all watching the Summer League this past season here, y'all know who I'm talking about. From Dumont, New Jersey, Jersey's own, man. So it's definitely a special episode for sure. My man Don Barlow in the building.
Man, what's going on, y'all? Appreciate you having me on here.
Nah, for sure, man. Thank you for coming, bro. For sure. We got a good platform here, man. We give positive vibes, and, we're going to get right into it, man. So how was your season? Like, how's the Summer League been?
Man, it's good. It was a unique experience coming in as, like, a second-year guy. Because, last year, I didn't really know what I was doing coming into Summer League. Like, it was all kind of just a blur. And I was just happy to be out there. But now, like, I kind of knew what to expect. So going into it, my mindset was just to kill. Like, I was trying to go no matter who I was playing, no matter, the circumstances. I was just going out there trying to get buckets, trying to do what I do.
Bro, from, like, my spectator, like, watching on TV, man, you was a straight dog. I was watching the whole, when you guys were playing, and, man, you just was killing it. So you just repping for the hometown, too.
No, for sure.
Jersey, so that's what's up, man. So let's take it back a little. Like, when you grew up, where did you grow up? Like, how was, your whole adolescence time?
Yeah, so I grew up in Dumont, New Jersey. My mom, my grandparents, they lived with me my whole life. I had a pretty good life, to be honest with you. Nothing too crazy, went on. I didn't have any unexpected deaths or nothing like that. So everything was pretty much straight.
Bless. And
I fell in love with the game of basketball with my mom. She kind of forced me to play. I didn't want to play. I want to play football, soccer, really? Baseball, all the stuff that my friends was doing. So, yeah, she forced me to play basketball. And ever since then, I found a love for the game and a passion for it. But I didn't really know, like, what I wanted out of it. I just enjoyed doing it. And then my sophomore year of high school was, like, the first time I had somebody, my high school coach at Dumont High School, Kenny Motoro. He told me, like, you can go somewhere with this. Like, this could be something that, like, you could be a professional basketball player. He's like, you're going to go D1 not even really caring. Like, if you really care, you can make money doing this. So that's all I really needed to hear. And I locked in with that. And I met Oz and Kenny during COVID summer, like 2020, going into my senior year. And, they took it to an even another level. They had me in the gym every day working out.
He's a beast, Kenny.
Kenny. Right. That's my dog.
We're going to see him soon next episode.
For sure. That's my dog. But, yeah, he had me in the gym, just locked me in there. And ever since then, I've just seen so much growth in my game. And that's really propelled me to be where I am now.
Nah, that's amazing, man. So when you were in your sophomore year, did you always have, like, height, or did you have a growth spurt out of nowhere?
That was what I mean? Yeah, that was probably my growth spurt. I was like 6'1" my freshman year, and I was like 6'5", 6'6" my sophomore year.
Jeez.
Yeah, so I had to, like, kind of learn the whole summer, and even the whole, like, my sophomore year. I only averaged like 8 a game because I didn't really know how to use my body for real. Like, I had to learn all my movements again, but once I did that, I went from like 8 points my sophomore year to like 25 my junior year.
Oh, so was you like All-State or?
Nah, bro, I got robbed for All-State.
Nah,
for my junior year, and I wasn't even All-County my junior year. I was in 25 and 13.
Really?
And my senior year, it was COVID. We only played 8 games, but I averaged like 32 and 16, and I wasn't All-State.
Yeah, so that's a rob for sure.
That to this day, that still like pissed me off.
Yeah, now whoever knows those rankings, man, y'all need to leave, get somebody else in the building because that's just crazy.
For sure.
Wow. So like playing for Dumont, a lot of kids, they play for different schools, and there's a lot of kids that are watching this podcast that don't go to one of these elite high schools, like Roselle Catholic or Catholic, a big time school. So how is it coming from a small time Dumont high school?
I think you kind of just got to take ownership of your responsibility. Like, I stayed at Dumont because I wanted to see us grow and, put us on the map for basketball. Like, that was a responsibility. And that's a conversation that me and my coach had a lot of times. Like, we were trying to change the stigma about basketball in Dumont. Like, we were really a baseball town.
True.
Nobody respected us in basketball. So we took a lot of pride in really, taking ownership of, like, this is my high school, this is my town. Like, I want us to be the best team in the state. Even if we couldn't be the best team in the state, like if we didn't have the guys, I still wanted to be that. Like that's what I was pushing for.
Yeah, no, that's what's up, bro. Because a lot of times kids, you know, they leave where they're from to go something bigger, but you wanted to stay right there.
Yeah, I wanted to take ownership and pride in that. I think like that my community as a whole, I feel like respects me for that.
True.
And like they all ride for me like super hard because of that.
Nah, bro, that's huge. That's huge. So after your junior year, when you went crazy, then how was your senior year? How were the offers coming in? Like, how did that happen?
Nah, the offers came in late, so I had like I still had 4 Division I offers going into my senior year, but it was like low major. I think I got my first one that summer of junior year, like right after COVID, from Siena College, FDU, and then I had 2 other schools. But yeah, I wasn't really getting the recruitment I want. So once I met Kenny and they told me I could play EYBL, but I would have to do a post-grad year, I was all in for that because I was like, I just need time.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's like a thing. Like, people talk about the reclassing because you're scared of playing competition or you want to play younger kids to help yourself. Nah, my mindset with it was like, I just need another year. Like, I lost 2 years basically to COVID. I'm an unknown prospect. I haven't really got the chance, and I've been blowing up still under the radar. So, like, give me one summer playing the best kids, and, like, I knew I could be like one of the best players in the country.
Of course, 100%. So where did you end up going for post-grad school?
So I didn't end up. I was at Bridgeton Academy in Maine, and 2 days into it, I got a call from Overtime Elite, and they told me, the pay and what they were doing over there and stuff. And, I didn't think, like, I thought I could be a pro, but at the same time, like, there's still always that doubt because you hear all the numbers and stuff. So when they told me, like, yeah, you're going to make 6 figures plus playing basketball in high school and doing this, I was like, yeah, I was all in for it. So I went there to Atlanta that year, and it was the best thing that ever happened to me. Like, obviously, the games weren't as competitive as, like, an NCAA tournament. Like, that's just not possible right now with the guys that we had. But, I mean, we had Amen and Asar Thompson. They went back-to-back in this year's draft.
Yeah, they're beasts. So you played with them, and how was that?
I mean, it was dope. They're like some of my best friends to this day.
That's dope.
Because they just love basketball the way I do. So we just be in the gym at night shooting, just talk, like, I don't really have a memory with them in Atlanta, like, anything besides basketball. Because that's all we did. Like, we just talk basketball, play basketball, like, argue about basketball, like, fight about basketball. It's just everything was around the game. So it's just, that's how our relationship blossomed, man. Those are people I could call to this day. I'm trying to give them some advice going into a rookie year, just telling them, like, it's going to be a long season. That's
fire, man. Yeah. So, like, you got, like, how did that, like, elevate your performance being around, like, dogs like that all the time?
Yeah, no, it did. I mean, we had a bunch of guys, not just them. We had a bunch of guys that really, took pride in hooping and wanted to create this new path for athletes to use that they use right now. But, yeah, no, it was the first time in my life where, if something wasn't going good, I really feel like I had nobody to turn to. Like, even at Dumont, like, I could always call my coach or my parents or anything like that, cause, but I was alone in Atlanta living by myself for the first time.
That's a big change.
And, yeah, I couldn't call nobody. It's not like I could transfer.
Mm-hmm.
I gave up my college eligibility, so I was alone, and I had to learn how to figure things out by myself and, like, not rely on people. Like, I don't think I called my mom telling her about any problems I had there, even though I had a bunch.
Yeah, for sure.
It was a bunch of days I had hard days, but I was just like, I'm going to figure this out on my own.
What kept you going out there? Like, what made you, like, that's a big risk, bro, coming from Jersey to Atlanta,
So, after we had a pro day, and after the pro day, I was, like, number 70 on the mock draft for the first time. And, granted, I was, like, a top 50 kid in the country before I was going to do post-grad. So, like, I was a good player, but mock draft was just a whole different level. Like,
really?
That's just different, like, seeing your name next to guys that in college are, going to be top 10 picks in the draft. So it was like, once I saw that, I was like, yeah, no, it's time to turn up because I can play in the NBA.
Heck yeah, for sure. So during your time, like at overtime, you guys were in the G League, basically, like it's a G League Ignite and stuff like that, right?
Nah, so we played each other. Like, so we had 27 kids. We played like post-grad high schools, and then we had 3 teams, and we played within like ourselves.
Oh, really? That's how it went?
Yeah.
Oh, that's fire. Okay. So then once that season was over, what happened? Like, how did this whole, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so
G League come about and stuff.
So we went into like the pre-draft process with my agency, and we were in LA working out, doing all that stuff, and the pre-draft is like the hardest 6, 7, 8 weeks of your life. Like,
really,
you wake up, you got like 3 workouts a day, you got lifts, you flying to different cities to work out with teams and stuff. It was just so stressful. You got no sleep. Like, I remember I had a workout in, I think it was Miami. Then I had to go to Portland, like right after the workout to Miami. So that's like a 6-hour flight. And then right after that, I had to go to Boston.
Oh,
So back, East Coast, West Coast, back to East Coast, and doing that in like a 3-day span, getting 1 day, off, and then having to go work out with another team. It was just, your mind's all over the place. Yeah. All you're thinking about is the draft. Like, that's all you're really thinking about during the whole process. Where am I going to get picked? What team's going to sign me? All that. So, yeah, it was just a mess. Like, my head was so messed up.
Do you have to obviously get invited to that, right? Like, after the...
Yeah, you got to get invited to the workouts. I was able to get invited to the combine, which helped a lot because I had 2 good scrimmages when I played there. But, it's just that whole process for any young guys that are coming in. Like, I will always be an outlet to guys if they ever had to ask questions, because I went into it blind.
Yeah.
And it was great because I figured it out, and like, I knew I could do it, but I know how hard that is, and not everybody's the same when it comes to stuff like that. So
it's true. A lot of people, they might break. They're not used to that stuff.
Yeah. So like, I always tell, like, if anybody, young guys that like I know coming in, like, I always just tell them like any information I got, because
that's super valuable, bro. Like, super in everything, basketball, business, mentors, definitely. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
For sure, 100%. So while you was doing these workouts, like, did you get immediate feedback? Did you have like a sense like, they really mess with me, or you didn't know anything?
Yeah. So they call your agent after and basically tell you how you did. And the funny thing about San Antonio is, like, they gave me good feedback, but I had a horrible workout. So I didn't think I was going there.
Really?
It was my second. Like, I did 19 workouts during pre-draft, and it was my second one off of back-to-back. And I was like, I didn't know, like, how hard it was going to be doing it off of back-to-back. I was exhausted. I shot terribly.
What do they put you through? Like, exactly, what do you got to do? What kind
so
of drills?
It's usually 6 guys. So you do a lot of 3-on-3 stuff. So we did a lot of 3-on-3 full court. They'll put you like through shooting at the end. You'll do some sort of conditioning, like skill ball handling stuff. So it's basically just to evaluate you, but they also trying to break you mentally. Like, in the workout, sure. They trying to have you do a bunch of conditioning stuff and all that, just to really try to like see like who's gonna last through the workout. And yeah, I was exhausted. I had shot terribly. Just had sloppy turnovers and stuff like that during the 3-on-3, and I was just like, I basically just put it behind me, because I was like, I still had so many more workouts. I wasn't even thinking about San Antonio.
Your second one, you said? Or?
Yeah, that was my second one.
Oh, so you had 17 other
ones. So I was like, it is what it is. Like, I was bound to have one that wasn't going to be good, so I'm happy I got out of the way. But it was funny that I just ended up going to San Antonio.
So I got to ask, man. So 19 workouts are done, right?
Yeah.
So then some teams call your agent and stuff like that. So when did it really set in? Like, San Antonio's really,
No, I had no idea. I found out, like, so after the draft, after I took the 2-way with San Antonio, like, they called me during the draft and were like, hey, like, we want Dom, like, we're going to do this. And when my agent told me, I'm just like, in my head, I'm just laughing. Because I was like, that's my worst workout. Like, there's no way. Like, I thought he was joking, because I told him through the whole process. Like, I was like, he was like, how's the workout? And I was like, oh, yeah, it was better than San Antonio. Like, I was just telling him the whole time, because I thought it was so bad. Yeah.
Wow.
So, it was cool, going in there and just
That's crazy. So that shows you, like, you never know. Wow.
You never know who's looking at you. You never know what it's going to be. Your best day, like, I had a bunch, like, I had to work out with Charlotte, I killed. Work out with Chicago, there was, like, everybody who went in the top 20. We had, like, 6 guys who went in the top 20. I killed every one of them. I thought, I was like, I'm going to go to Chicago for sure. Like, they were talking to my agent the whole time throughout. And then they went a completely different direction. Like, they drafted a guard instead of my position. So I was, like, thrown off completely.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but, you just kind of never know what to expect.
Wow. So when you heard that noise, man, what like, when you heard that, your agent's like, all right, yeah, San Antonio it is. Like, what was going through your head?
I was excited, but I was also, like, because I went to overtime elite and nobody really sees me, like, people are going to try to, like, punk me and disrespect me because I didn't go to college. So that was kind of my mindset. Like, I'm not just playing for myself. I'm also playing to keep the credibility of our league.
Yeah, for sure. And then you also got Dumont on your back too, so you're representing.
Yeah, like, that's the biggest thing for me. It's like, when I play basketball, like, obviously I have enough pride for myself to want to just do well and succeed, but also I care about other people. Like, seeing my friends and family get excited that I had a good game and it makes them feel good, like, that makes me want to play so much better and still work on my game so much more. Because it's like, if I can bring some people, joy and excitement through my success, it becomes way bigger than yourself.
That's 100. That right there, that's facts, guys. Like, your story, bro. Like, not a lot of people come from where you came from, basically straight out of high school to the league. Like, that we're talking back in the day when LeBron did it, Kobe did it, Kate. You know what I mean? But now it's a whole new wave of guys doing that, which is pretty dope. That's fire. So when you heard the news, did they immediately tell you gotta go out to San Antonio? Like, what happened next?
So I had one day after that. So I was just chilling with my friend. Like, we was all going crazy. We was having a great time. But yeah, I went 2 days after the draft. I went there and we started summer league practice, like, right away. You got to do a whole bunch of tests and stuff, like medical exams and all that. So it was like a long 2 weeks before summer league actually started.
Okay. So it was like a physical thing you got to go through.
Yeah, it's like a whole ordeal. It's just a chaotic 2 weeks.
All right, so now, man, let's just fast forward. When you got into summer league, how was the competition compared to overtime elite and what you were used to?
I would just say, like, the competition at overtime elite, like, all the guys are really skilled, but, like, because guys are in high school, like, their bodies aren't filled out yet. So you go from playing that to playing grown man. Like, I think Michael Beasley played in summer league my first year. Like, they had, like, some grown man really playing. Yeah. So the physicality standpoint, like, that was the first time seeing kind of that. And then the day, like, summer league is really just, it's like second year, third year, and then rookies coming in. But you have some vets that are trying to get themselves back into the league. But just, I wasn't used to the physicality and the speed that they were playing. Like, I remember the first time I got subbed out when we played Cleveland. I was just exhausted, like, in 2 minutes. I ain't never had that before. Like, I've always been in, like, the best shape for the level I was playing. That was the first time I was like, damn, I'm not in the best shape compared to some of these guys. So it was just a lot of eye-opening stuff, which I think helped me in my first year, just learning all that, all the different levels of guys, just seeing, like, what guys were doing, how people carry themselves and all that really helped me understand, like, what it takes to stay in the league.
Yeah, no, 100%, man. Did you meet, like, a lot of cool dudes that, you became friends with? Other players that, you know what I mean? Like, you guys just chopped it up?
Yeah. You just meet some guys. Like, I met a bunch of guys from Jersey that, like, you wouldn't think, like, know you. Like, Kyle Anderson, when we played Minnesota. Talking to him through the game and stuff like that. It was cool because my high school coach, Coach Kyle, when he was at North Bergen. So it was, like, just a dope experience seeing another Jersey guy, like, show love. There was a bunch of guys in the G League that, like, super cool people, like, just love the game. And, like, yeah, when you playing them, like, it's competition. Like, you can't be friends with dudes. But after the game, it's love. Like, at the end of the day, the NBA is, like, it's a brotherhood. So all the guys are going to, respect what you do because they know how hard it is to get to the NBA from their journey and stuff.
Yeah, 100%, man. Well, how was it playing with Victor Wembanyama when you was on the court, man? You know I gotta ask that.
Nah, for sure. The most unique basketball experience I've ever been a part of, because we didn't really get to practice with him a lot. Like the first week when we did summer league practice, because he had to do a bunch of medicals and stuff, and he just finished his season in June, so he got like 2 weeks. Like everybody usually gets like 2 months to prepare for the draft and all that stuff. He got 2 weeks, so he was exhausted and he just needed to rest a little bit. But once he got on the court, like the impact stuff that he's going to do defensively for us this year is going to be something I don't think the league has seen before. Just his rim protection, ridiculous. And I mean, all the offensive stuff, we all see the highlights of him handling, taking guys off the bounce and stuff like that.
The hype's real then.
Yeah, it's cool. And like the way he handled himself after not having the best offensive game, the first game, and just him in the his little press conference after, they were talking to him and they told him, like, he said, I really didn't know what I was doing. And he didn't get to practice with us that much, so he didn't. So for him to just be honest and open for that, instead, like when the weight of the world is basically on his shoulders, I thought was pretty telling on like his character and, you know, how he carries himself.
Yeah, no, for sure, man. And like, I mean, you're tall yourself, 6'9", 6'10". How was it standing next to? Is it really like he's really 7'4" or something?
Bro, it's crazy. So the first time I saw him, I just got back into San Antonio before Summer League, before all that stuff started, and I'm like walking out of a little cafeteria area, and he's walking through the door, because like that, we have basically a parking lot, and then it connects. Like you walk in and the cafe is right there. So I'm walking out of it and he's walking through the door. And like I remember he's just like right in front of me. I'm like looking at my phone. He right in front of me. I just look up like,
that's crazy.
Yo. He's like, yo, I'm Vic, what's up? I'm like, yeah, I know who you are, bro. You don't really gotta say that, but yeah, it was cool, because they never seen somebody in my life that much taller than me.
Nah, that's what I mean. Yeah, I can't even imagine, bro. Because you walked in, he was taller than the ceiling over here. So
like he hit his head walking through the door and stuff. Like it's crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. All right, cool. So when's the new season? You about to go back next week?
Yeah.
And then everything starts. So then you're basically gonna be like a regular, like you're gonna be going back and forth between.
Yeah, so I'm going to play a little bit in Austin, probably a lot less than last year, but again, you never know what's going to happen. I'm just ready for both. I know I can, if I'm in Austin, goal is to just dominate and be a great teammate and help guys, you know. I understand, you know, my responsibility that I'm going to have in Austin. I'm ready for that, but also in San Antonio. You know, we're trying to win more games this year. We're trying to be a better team, and we know that we're young, but there's steps that we got to take to, you know, prove that, you know, we have a good core and that we're going to, you know, keep getting better in the league. So I think our guys are really hungry this year, and we're excited to prove some people wrong.
Yeah, for sure, bro. I mean, by the way you showed out in Summer League, it's just going to transition to regular G League and in the league, too.
For sure.
We excited, bro. A lot of people are talking, man. I see it. Like, now that I met you personally, man, you're an awesome dude, and you got Jersey on your back, man.
I appreciate it.
We definitely representing. So now let me ask you this. Like, during your come up and everything, like, life obviously is not all peaches and cream. There are going to be some times that you have to deal with a situation, let's say.
Yeah.
So was there any time that you really felt like just giving it all up and saying, you know what, I'm done. I can't do this no more?
Yeah, my junior year, like during our season, like we started out like 5-1, and we lost a game we should have won. Like we lost a game we should have won pretty much, and our coach is just ripping us, and he's, you know, I'm the best player on our team, so at the end of the day, it comes down to me. And he just ripped, like, we literally sat down after practice, and he just ripped me for, like, 2 hours. And I was playing football at the time, and Rutgers, like, basically told me, like, yeah, we're going to offer you, like, come on a visit, do that. So I was like, I didn't have any basketball offers at the time. So I was like, I'm not trying to play basketball no more. Like, this dude is ripping me. He's, you know, basically telling me I'm the problem when I'm scoring 30 a game. Like, I was just frustrated, and, you know, I got an offer in football, you know, not really caring about football. Like, I just loved the game, so I played just for fun. Like, it was literally for fun. And I was able to get a D1 offer before I did in basketball, and I put everything into basketball. So I was like, yeah, I'm done. I'm not playing. Yeah, I'm not playing no more. Yeah, so I took, like, we had practice the next day. I'm just sitting there contemplating, like, yo, should I even go? Like, I don't think I'm gonna go. But my teammates, I couldn't let them down. So that was the thing. I just played through the season to not let them down, and then I ended up working it out, and everything was cool.
Imagine if you just said, you know what, I'm done. This ball would have never happened.
Nah, for real.
That's dope, man. You see, that's very important, guys. Like, you just gotta stay focused. Like, don't let anything stop you. And would you say that having like a support team, like family and friends around you, you need that when times like that?
Yeah, you definitely need that, but you can't rely on that. I think having people there is a blessing, but also understanding that in life you have to live with decisions that you're going to make. I think that's the most important thing. Like, there's been times like my whole family wanted me to go to college, but I wanted to do overtime elite. So I pretty much told them, like, I'm going to be honest, I don't care. Like, if y'all feel a certain way about me after this, or you want to, like, it's cool, but I'm doing what I want to do. That's they supported 100%. It, but yeah, you got to make decisions for yourself in life and be able to live with the consequences.
Yeah, no, 1,000%. Dom just said it right there. Like, no, never could rely on it, but at the same time, like, you got to know what you want and just go for it. So that's pretty dope, man. So there's a lot of younger athletes that be watching the podcast, and some of them, they always ask, like, what would you tell them in their shoes, like, to build their confidence in coming up as you did?
Yeah, I think everybody tries to overcomplicate the game. I mean, you see a bunch of like trainers on Instagram and stuff doing all these crazy drills. The way I was able to, keep getting better and progress super fast. I mean, obviously I was gifted with height and all that, but I just did the normal things extra. I didn't do any extra stuff. Like, I didn't do like no crazy drill. Like, I just did the simple drills. I just did them a lot more than everybody else. Like, I kept everything simple. I worked on my jump shot. I shot catch and shoots. I shot shots on the move. Like, we have so many resources with the internet now that, you can watch a video on a guy like JJ Redick shooting the basketball, or anybody who you're looking to model your game after, just guys who, they care about the game. Like, there's so many, like Steph Curry, he has videos of himself working out.
Yeah.
Like, as a young guy, I don't know how, like a young guard, I don't know how you could not be watching that.
You gotta be resourceful,
yeah,
right?
Like, use your resources, like, and you see the stuff that he's doing. I mean, he has like some crazy dribbling stuff that he be doing, but that's all feel stuff. Like, that's not like him working on his ball handling. That's just him working on his hand-eye coordination. But he just does, like, I saw Steph work out when I was in LA, and he doesn't do anything crazy. He just goes 100% in the workout, and he's the best. I think he's the most in-shape basketball player who's ever played the game.
Jeez, really?
So his conditioning is just on another level. So when he's in a workout, he's running full court, sprinting into shots, doing everything 100 miles an hour, like, really just locked in. Like, you see a lot of young guys come onto the court and they're just like, they're on BS. Like, they're just doing 1,000 dribbles and seeing the stuff that they see on Instagram. Like, yeah, like, people have to understand that the stuff you see on Instagram, like, that is entertainment. That's not what the game really comes down to. Like, Steph shooting a 40-footer, that's not why he's in the league.
Yeah.
Like, there's so many other things he does. He just happens to be able to do that because of how much work he puts in, but, like, he's the best for other things, not just shooting 40-footers. Like,
1,000%. Yeah, you explained it perfectly. I always tell a lot of people, like, they got to be out there. Like, I mean, it's so cliche when they say practice makes perfect, but
no, it do. Like, it literally, there's no way to run from it. Like, there's a level of grind that you have to be willing to put in, and you can't cheat it. You can only, like, you could be the number one player in the country all through high school, and then once you get to the league, it could not work out because you don't work hard. Like, there's gifts. Everybody has gifts and talents and size and a bunch of different things that can make them a good basketball player. But if you don't work, like, there's nobody that's in the NBA Hall of Fame that did not work on their game.
1,000%. 1,000%. In the gym all the time and just staying focused. So that's definitely true, man. Now, also, on this podcast, right, we also like to include fashion into like sports and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So in your opinion, like where do you get your sense of like style, fashion, inspiration from?
I'm gonna be honest, I see what other guys is doing, and I try to put my own like twist on it. Like, I'm not somebody who's gonna be like, oh yeah, everything I do is just original. Like, I'm not just thinking of stuff in my head. If I see a piece or, a way that somebody's wearing something, I'm like, okay, I like how he's doing that. I'm gonna try to implement my own way onto it. I'm not just gonna copy his outfit, from shirt to pant, whatever he's doing. But like, yeah, I take stuff from other guys,
Yeah.
and I try to put my own twist on it.
Yeah, no, that's dope, bro. Especially like now, you guys have like a big platform, with fashion wise. So like, League Fits and a bunch of pages that. Like that's dope because a lot of people look up to that page for inspiration on outfits and stuff like that. So I think it's cool because you can spread a positive message
for sure
through that. So that's pretty.
And
fire.
I'm willing to try new stuff all the time. Like I don't care. Like I don't really care how somebody feels about what I'm wearing. Like if I like how it looks, like I'm gonna wear it. I don't care.
Same thing with me. Yeah, that's 1,000%, man. All right, cool. Now we always ask our guests here. The motto of the podcast is called "Keep It Crispy," but the motto is "The world is yours." Yeah. So, in your own words, Dom, what would you say "the world is yours" means to you?
Man, that's a good question. I don't know. I think the world is yours. Like to me, that kind of just means whatever you want to do in life, just taking ownership of it. It could be, you could be a painter, you could be a basketball player, you could be an accountant, whatever you want to do in life, just take ownership of what you're doing and, try to get the most out of it.
Yeah.
Don't sell yourself short. Don't just be willing to be average. Like, try to be the best.
Definitely not average, right? I always say that too. For sure, 100%, man. All right, cool. So do you have any like last words? You want to shout out anybody special or anything like that before we go into the next phase here?
Shout out my dude K-Mill for setting this up for me.
That's
it was
our guy, man.
Dope experience, yeah.
For sure, man. All right, cool, dope. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go walking around the shop, and you'll be able to pick whatever shorts you want in your size. You can have them. So for the people that are watching, if you guys can guess what Dom picked, post it below. We're going to pick one winner from the comments, and you guys can have a pair of shorts free on us. So you already know, like the video, subscribe. And my man Dom, appreciate you being here, my brother.
Always, man.
And we out of here. Keep it crispy.